actually start recording before we lose. We lose turn one. My fault, YouTube gang. My fault. My fault. Someone's already been given a game loss. Hey yo. Not on our table though. Only the highest quality games on our table. Get rid of me. Bring this up, but long day for table 5. Don't know how that's happened already. That's what playing for a Blitz Omni does to people. Looks like we're looking at Armour Vaccine. I mean, it's 2 TKs and a Salamon. But that leads me to believe that we're looking at Armour Vaccine because you bet like proper angels ain't gonna be here. Yep. Yuppers. This is it's a different take on Armour Vaccine, which is really interesting. We've obviously seen some yellow armor, like we saw Nugan earlier. Duke, who's on table 2, who was using a very Magna focused list, but this one, very, very interesting approach. Looks like we're just gonna see the Imperialdramon, very, very quick. Armour Vaccine is just very popular, but if you prefer your Rapidmons to be evolved the genuine way, you want to see Terriermon turn into a Rapidmon rather than Patamon, you'll be happy to know that there are a surprising number of Terriermon players currently fighting for a Blitz Omni right now. They just have one last round. The Joker main in chat and YouTube, not quite able to clutch it out, but still putting in fantastic work. And I mean, stunning a Imperialdramon so it can't suspend at all next turn. Pretty good. Pretty good. Unfortunately, though, if it just turns into Dragon mode, it kind of does put you in an awkward situation. I'm gonna go to 3 off the TK. Hatch, start of main. So I couldn't see what the egg was, but let's take at the list. The list. Okay, yeah, they're on a split, so I actually can't tell what it is from here. But one of the eggs is becoming a lot more common as a pit. It's funny enough, it's the BT-15 Nyaramon, and the Terriers are also on Nyaramon as well. So like both versions of Rapidmon armor are prioritizing Nyaramon as a Digimon name, which is quite funny. Nyaramon, when attacking once per turn by trashing top or bottom card of security, you can gain 1 memory. As it is when attacking, that means that the Magnamon can gain its protection before swinging. So we are actually going to choose to give the protection. We're obviously losing the unsuspend by doing it this way. But not getting Imperialdramon Ace is pretty sick. Big fan. There's not going to be any Zubagons, but whoa, -8 linger. That's just exactly enough to kill, which means we're going to be partitioning out. Doesn't pass over a crazy amount of memory, and the Megalospark is a really, really cute tech. 5 cost option, -8's a board. We actually saw it at the Misplay for Game Case tournament as well. It's starting to become more and more common of a pick for Armour Vaccine players because it does just kill a lot of the DNA decks. Swinging in no jamming here, which is... we're definitely swinging for the draw. Down comes a Patamon. Back comes the Protect. I'm actually kind of shocked that we didn't just draw. Wait, what's the Salamon? The Nyaramon may be a PNG, so my ass is not downloading that. Salamon... when the security stack is removed, -2. Okay, so we didn't get to just like randomly pot shot. We didn't get to randomly pot shot at the XV, but it does make it 2k. That is very funny. I guess that is why more and more of them are on it. I feel like this is built to specifically cause problems for the DNA decks. Speaking of causing problems though, Did we hit a level 4? We do not. Which means... No, the Magna's still protected. If this is Nyaromon, we're chilling. If this egg is Nyaromon, we're actually so gaming. Because as turn player, Tim can swing, burn top card of or bottom card of security with the Magna, become protected, and it means the Togemogamon won't get to just rip the... That is the wrong pick. No, never mind. There's our Nyaromon. Never mind. We're chilling. It's worth it. That leads me to believe that we're on the Tokomon for the Magna X, which means the Nyaromon was specifically pushed. Like, they have built specifically to make sure that we are protected at all times. It's going to make it really difficult for Thomas to be able to do anything, so we're just going to strip out the Nyaromon source in case this Patamon somehow doesn't die in security. Now, I'm just going to take the block, which, I mean, you might as well. Magna's not going to be unsuspending, so you can just go for some value, but sheesh! Goodbye! Full clear with the Rapidmon Ace. Oh, Rapidmon? The Valkyriemon Ace. Yellowvac really can do that. So we saw Cherubi being used in the Rapid engine, but like Cherubi also being used for like some single target shrink. But, I mean... Wide boards is something that Magnamon X can struggle with. It's not the old one that just has a bajillion redirects. This one, it is basically only blocking twice. Right. So... The Davison's the Wormmon in the back is not ideal. I think this is finally where you start going nutso in security. Because, I mean, it's early games for these two. We, as the viewer, know that Thomas not really on, like, any removal options. Armour Vaccine, absolutely, yes, is a deck that needs to get hit, but the Patamon is interesting because it feels like Bandai has pigeonholed themselves into, like, in the same way that like Anubis restricted purple design and so did Calling. I feel like they've kind of let Patamon do the same thing as like anything that is a level 4 yellow vaccine can and will be abused by this little potato. But it's also a huge power budget for a lot of these angel cards. So what I would like to see is if you just choice restrict all of the vaccine armors, like no gold Veemon, both the rapids, and just choice restrict it with Magna X, it means that all of the O2 kids still get to use Magna X, except Rapidmon. So so Patamon can either go into an armor vaccine for 0, and then can't go into Magna, or they can't go into an armor vaccine, and they would have to like actually go into like a free type armor. You would have to see like what's Pegasusmon, like Pegasusmon and like Pipismon. Like you're not seeing Rapidmon do a billion things turn into Magna X. If they really want Patamon free Evo into something, they're gonna work for it. All right, I think we're just taking a look to see what it is that Togemogamon actually does. Because the thing that is super annoying for this exact game state right here is this Magnamon is about to lose its all turns effect for the rest of the game. So that Magnamon is now gone, which means we're going to be swinging protected at security. As soon as it hits, we're going to unsuspend. I think we're just calling a judge on timing, but we're just gonna block. I mean, might as I don't know. So by blocking, you've now made it so that the Valkyriemon will kill. Oh, I guess that's what you wanted, right? To try and keep yourself safe. Swing. It's gonna hit a Veemon. The Valkyriemon is going to pop the Wormmon, which means it doesn't get Sec +1, but the Magnamon The lower Magnamon will unsuspend, go up to +6, but the middle Magnamon will not be able to because it is now without its armor source. All right. In the back goes an Armour V, Gold Veemon. Might as well, because you have protection. We are also looking... Whoa. Matrix glitch. We are looking at game on board. Super duper game on board. This might be a scoop. Whoa. Down comes the Imperial Ace. I mean, might as well. You will... I mean... Wait, does the fight mode Ace not spin the Valk? I don't think it matters at this point. You're super far behind. Yeah, I'm pretty sure fighting mode Ace just spins the Valk, but... Yes, the Magna does unsuspend. It just doesn't have the protection. That it because there's like a weird full stop, isn't there? That's the thing that messes it up. Go to security, unsuspend. Where? Oh, it's Invincible Dragon Knight. If that was Giga Death, we were in trouble. But I mean, wait. If he goes into the Wormmon, he can evolve into Togemogu trash? It's an on-play, right? So you can just evolve into Togemogu. Sure, you'll give him the memory, but you'd be able to strip out the source. Be funny. But yeah, this is looking like a pretty clean. A pretty clean one. I'm gonna spend some extra memory here just to confirm a kill. Mad as well. You got the memory to make it work. Game extending. It'd be like that, but they can push it through. People letting it know. I love I love that the thumbs downs just show up on exactly the correct side. It was Nume earlier, and now it's Armor Vaccine. Very funny. I legit couldn't even tell you how that's done, but I'm out. Game one, pretty comfortably going to be going over to Tim Schmidt on that one. Not even super much to say about it. They, like, we finally saw the Imperial low roll. Like, Thomas low rolled a little bit versus Terrier, and Terrier was still able to put up a decent fight, but they kind of just stabilized off the craziest security. This time, not quite able to make it happen. What do they do for game number 2? Probably a big old shuffle. We're gonna see a pile as well. Until that's still going through a whole lot of shuffle. I mean, you got a lot of time. These are two decks that kind of just zoom through. Pile shuffle being cheating is technically true. It is very funny. It's one of those people that don't know how to shuffle and are afraid of mass shuffling will continue to do it, but it is technically the least efficient shuffle. And it takes the longest, which has caused many timeouts. I think you as a competitor should stop your opponent pile shuffling if you think you're going to actually go into time. The thing that people will always defend it is the easiest shuffle, because you can't really mess up just putting cards on a table. Brackets, you absolutely can. Alright, Veemon in the back, Veemon in the front. And that's the yellow, like the gorgeous yellow men boost as well, so I'd say a boost is pretty much, like, if you can't do a TK, like the boost is pretty good. Means that if you miss this Rapidmon, you just boost and pay for it. It's a big if, but we will not be living in that timeline. We will be microwaving that Veemon. Actually true. Veemon is in these streets, and these streets absolutely are not safe. Yeah, like pile shuffling and shuffling after is like a thing, but it's just like it technically, like, the reason to pile shuffle is to break up card combos to make sure they're not just like seeded together still, which is technically like card counting or like, you know, stacking. And if you're just going to randomize it with a shuffle anyway, why are we pile shuffling? Just learn like different kinds of shuffle. Everyone should learn to mash, bridge, overhand. Like if you're afraid of bending your cards, then like everyone should mash. And we're going to first check Davis. Suddenly the game is incredibly losable. Yeah. Everyone should learn to mash and overhand shuffle. Like you should be good. Not everyone needs to know how to bridge. Bridging is cool though. All right. We have the gold Veemon sideways. I mean, it's going to end up sideways. Let's be real. It actually doesn't matter where it is. I'm going to spend the 3 on the Veemon. We needed to see an XV, but not that one. But still, better to find an XV than none at all. The Imperialdramon was never a... Ooh, that's huge. Always a foregone conclusion. And unfortunately, for Tim here, starter deck 9 Imperialdramon, bottom deck 6k or less, which is exactly what these armors are. Brother, I have watched people bridge shuffle cards that are worth triple digits. You can bridge shuffle your you can bridge shuffle your 50-pound cards. If your tape, okay, I'm not talking like aerial bridge like Perry. He's like a he is an animal. Yeah, speaking of animal, we are slinging spells for the 2nd time in a row. Imperialdramon struck down by thunder. Yeah, I don't know. Bridge shuffling on the table with a very light bend, totally fine. You won't bend your cards. Yeah, pile shuffling is just straight up not random. If you're worried about a card combo, just like lazily put them apart and then start mash and overhand shuffling. Daiken is, I feel really like, if I'm Tim, I'm kind of sweating. Admittedly, I can't see Tim's hand, so maybe he's chilling. See, I've heard 7 mashes. I've heard 7 bridge, like riffle shuffle. So yeah, bridge. But I'm a big overhand enjoyer. I learned to shuffle as a kid, so I be flexing overhand shuffles. I'm assuming this Veemon is not making it back. Oh, okay. We're not risking it into security. I respect it. We're just gonna make the Magna. Yeah. Okay, like I would have killed that Veemon because the fewer resources that Thomas has, the better. From here, he can make Imperialdramon. And that's what I'm worried about. He can make Imperialdramon from this position. He does admittedly need to see both of the memory printer ones, really, to like actually get value. And then we also would need to sticky web the board and then set up dragon mode. So like, there's a lot to do. I'm going to play the Wormmon off the Daiken here. So it looks like we're just missing pieces. Yeah, we are playing second fiddle, but we do have a stream, which is more than we were going to. So big ups Yor for managing to get noHEROES to let him run the Digimon stream whilst playing in One Piece. And shout out to noHEROES for letting us stream. They also gave Yor the camera, which is why, you know, I know a lot of people had complaints about the camera last time. We jumped through some hoops to make it better this time. And then they also gave us a Logitech Brio, which also made things way easier. Right, in comes the protection. So we're now double protected, gigantic, massive, and we are going to get the attempt to suspend to unsuspend. So we're going to go into dragon mode, which basically is just, it's going to buy him one turn. Again, under the assumption that Nyaramon is top egg, not top egg. That looks like a Tokamon in the back, and I think that is a Tokamon on board, just because of how little text there is. Well, TK fixes that problem. This will keep turn as well. Load the rapid, sets up the Patamon for next turn. TK goes sideways, gain 1. Patamon, gain 1. Wait, is that Patamon gain 1? Nope, that is a Salamon. Lamau, that is a Salamon minus... Yeah, that is a Salamon minus 2k that does not do anything. Yeah, like Magna Vaccine, I like, especially in 16 and EX6, I think it was like easily, well, 16 definitely it was easily the pick. I think it's like once you hit BT 17 that like blue Magna just is better. But EX6 still being part 2, I mean, they just got more aces. Like, how could the deck be worse than Veemon, who actually got nothing in EX6? So like, yes, it is still objectively better, but your days are numbered, Patamon. But right now, this day's being a Patamon and numbered as it immediately turns into the Rapid X that we all knew was there. Yeah, I mean, technically, our case finals was won by, our case tournament was won by Blue Armour versus, versus Golden Armors as well. Well, Vaccine Armor. So, I mean, yeah, I mean, I guess in the head-to-head, it is kind of weird, but like, I mean, whoever just outspeeds whoever. Yellow definitely stays on board a lot more, but I mean, big ups to our to Peter G, the misplay for game EX6 case split winner, crisp 2-0 and a handshake, and 4 boxes of EX6 and a cool ass playmat. Since this is an official regional as well, I think the MachineDramon playmat that we saw earlier is going to be up for grabs for the winner. Everyone else in top 8 is just going to have their humble Blitz Omni. And if y'all come back and watch the VOD, y'all better be in the comments. I want to know what your numbers were. I want to find out. I'm going to fill out the Pokedex slowly and find out who has what. Wow, the VODs, that's crazy. The VODs, they're here, right here on YouTube. Unless you're watching on Twitch, in which case, I mean, technically the Twitch VOD is still up, but like, you can watch bite-sized fixed pieces on YouTube. Which is the same name, because I realize I actually don't have any of the damn social things. So one of the things I also really like about the yellow base of Armour is Pillowmon kind of folds all the DNA decks in half and then half again just for good measure. 7 memory to say, be gone. And unlike, well, I mean, 7 is a lot. Unlike some of the others, I mean, the Pillamon's still turning off the Daikens and stuff. We admittedly still can just evolve for 1 and then drop a searcher of any kind, or, you know, the house that is BT16 Wormmon, and just make another Pyldramon. But damn. Okay, we're gonna go for Invincible Dragon Knight, which means we get to drop a Stingmon and then immediately go into the Pyldramon. We do have both colors for the poly option, so the Invincible Insect Dragon Knight or whatever. Polymerization, bro. Let's not beat around the bush. Down comes Stingmon. 3 costs to play it, and then we're gonna gain back 2. Oh no, we are not. It's play by effect, and he's paid the cost. That is a full attempt to resolve. Why did you play it? You could have just slammed it. You had it in your hand. Like, yes, it's 1 memory cheaper, but you've just thrown the game. That's crazy. That Heaven's Judgment hit so hard it fried. Like, actually fried. So now we go Wormmon. That 2 fighter mode aces. Wow, that is giga unfortunate. So we are now going to pay the 2, and now we're going to make the Pyldramon. This Pyldramon costs 8 to make. No, 9 technically. This was a 9 cost Pyldramon that is going to just refund. Well, it's going to refund 4. So even when Imperialdramon takes the game and accidentally kicks it down the street, we are still good. Still a protected Magna, so it's not going to get sent sideways. I will say Tim's also done a really good job of making sure that his stack is upright when it comes to... he does a really good job of making sure his stack is upright when the Magna is under Sticky Web. It just makes sure that he never gets caught in one of those situations where he needs something actually to hit security in order to get the unsuspend. Really, really well done from him. But I feel like in this situation, admittedly, you're on 1 memory, so it's not like you have a lot of agency, but again, another turn of just making it work. The battle protection would have been nice, but that's also, I mean, I guess he would have tried to swing. You could also just try and be bigger. Like, Imperialdramon isn't small. Like, pop down. Let's not rewrite history. This is game 1 to Schmidt. Alright, Magnum on X is 12k, and the Dab Master himself, Imperialdramon fighter mode, yeah, he's 13. Like, he just, like, okay, I guess yes, you could get aced. Yeah, running it down into Pillowmon happens to the best of us. You do sometimes just fall asleep. That pillow does look mighty enticing, just like asleep, fully asleep at the wheel. Dragon mode is gonna get popped straight back. And goodbye the 2 6s. So yeah, if you were going into this play rather than going into fighter mode ace, you would have been able to get rid of the Pillowmon. You wouldn't have battle protection, but hold on before I finish the sentence. How big is this guy? Yeah, he's 13 as well. Like, you were unaceable if you did this line the turn before, you were unaceable. You didn't need the battle protection. Under the assumption that he didn't just he didn't just draw it for turn off of this one. Like, it's entirely possible that, you know, that is just like a well, it shows up now, so he looks foolish, but it's fine. Oh, 15 at least, yeah, because it gets the DP buff for being multiple colors, right? Yeah, multiple colors in Digivolution cards, so... This guy's massive. Like, if you were going to do that, absolutely no reason to Insect Dragon Knight, but again, it happens. These players... I mean, these two are guaranteed a Blitz Omni, providing this is the final round. If it's not the final round, you're making your day infinitely more stressful if you don't win here. Couple of updates on the other rounds. Yannick Mayer has managed to win on table 8, 2-0. Fabian Scott, or Schott, has beaten Benedict Hartfield 2-0. Philip Decker, 2-0 over David Krieger. And then Killian Schwiffer is 1-0 up against Marcel on their terriermon stuff. So hopefully terriermon can still make top 8. The inherits are the partition Imperialdramon as well as the memory printer blue-green. So we got piercing, jamming, partition, draw 1. We got generic Imperial draw good stuff. I saw the line. But right now they are not seeing a like thread to victory at all. They are still really struggling to like actually put something together here. Because kind of like was just pointed out, yellow, if you do this right, yellow is quite literally never not protected. However, that is our second tamer out of security. And you know, there's only so many of those that can pop out of security before it becomes really difficult to lose the game. However, that is certainly one of the ways that just completely says, yeah, okay, cool, nice tamer anyways. Double 2 protected towers, one of which will be unsuspending immediately as soon as security is checked. It is also +3 during this turn, and whilst it's suspended, it will be +1, so... I actually do not think Imperial can beat over this. I'm gonna be nosy. Take a look at I'm gonna see Billy's list. We are not on. Oh, this is actually okay. No, it's like a 50-50 on Wormmon, like Wormmon, Veemon. But we are not on any of the BT16 Veemons, so we're not actually gonna be seeing any DP buffs at all. So like, it's gonna be listed stats for the most part. 15k is just simply the biggest that this will be. Maybe you could get 16 if you get the purple off of the BT16 Wormmon, because that card's crazy. So looks like we're gonna make Imperialdramon. +2 memory printer edition. Again, trying to lay sticky web down, but it actually does not matter. And that's the problem. By not going BT16, you're kind of cooked. We are playing into the actual easiest win condition here versus Imperial, which is just deck them out. Like, game plan 1, if you're on yellow Magna, is play Pillowmon and then resolve stuff around it. Game plan 2 is deck them out. Sometimes game plan 1 leads to game plan 2. We're gonna evolve, draw. I think we're down to like 3 cards left in deck. Is it a Yume? I mean, Yume. Mama did not raise no coward. We are resolving when digivolving. I think they're just confirming what bounces at the end of their turn, and we are resolving when digivolving. It's possible he's trying to go out on his own terms, which I hella respect, because I did not see a single thing in this list that fixes the situation we're in. Ain't no way, is that? Okay, no. For a second I thought it was blue card. Okay, so we're gonna go for suspending a tamer that is gonna stay locked. We're down to last card? Last card in deck, I think? I hope it's not last card in deck, because if you're trying to go last card in deck, you... Okay, so you do have 2 dragon modes. So that is, in theory, 2 aces. But you better be on exactly 3 cards in deck. We're boosting a memory boost. What the, actually, thinking about it, being on memory boost instead of blinding ray is a really interesting decision, because like, obviously yellow base has super easy access to blinding. But they're quite happy to just play the boost for the consistency and then crack the boost for an effective slower blinding, so that way you can play your TKs. So it's like a 2-turn, like it's like a really consistent like line where they're just frequently getting the value, and obviously the TKs that you're playing off the boost are then consistently refunding. Card was removed from security, so we're going to shrink off a Veemon just simply because we can. No other reason to do so. Going to be once again interesting. Gave the protection to one of them. I'm assuming giving protection to both, because there's no reason really not to. And yeah, again, the loop just continues. TK takes something, play boost. I don't think it super matters what you pick here. Angela 1 ace just kind of makes the most sense, because 2 of them revealed off the search, so statistically you're just not likely to see them again. And also, assuming you see a 4, you're chilling. Tim is still on 5 of 4 security, so we're looking pretty good. And if he's protected, yeah, you're giving up the damage, but you are pretty comfortably about to just kind of blow them out the water. Like, if you're... we are on some hater energy. We're playing for a deck out. And, I mean, thinking about it, yeah, if he was on 1 card, what's there to lose? You swing the ace, and it's just like, whatever. You swing, they draw off of 1 ace, and then you just leave the other one. You joke winnable trust, but I have seen Imperials look at board states this bad and gone, nah, I'd win, and then they do. Big ups to the gambler that won the Raiden trade regional, the online one, with blue card. They actually did just make it happen. I'm assuming, I mean, there's no reason to not just block, right? Well, they get a free unsuspend. The thing is, fighter mode ace has to be... But yeah, fighter mode ace has to be unsuspended when it comes in, really, to get your restand. So they are just kind of out of it. We are kind of just extending the game because we can. Spinning your wheels, enjoying your time on table 1 whilst you got it. No stranger to it. They've been on it a couple of times. There's going to be 2-0 here. Swinging in. We are going to die. So, unfortunately for Thomas, he is going to be bowing out of round 6 with his first loss of the night. Also, his opponent from last round, Marcel, is also going to be finishing things off. We are going to at least slap down the crispy SP rare fighter mode. One last flashbang for the good times, but that's going to be a pretty clean win. Armour Vaccine just doing a fantastic job. Tim playing that brilliantly, really showing that their take on vaccine armors, like, you don't need your blinding rays. You can actually play like a much more almost traditional Digimon game with boosts and just smart cycling. Really smart cycling. And if they've been playing like this all day, very easy to believe that how they got here on a 5-0, leaving round 6 6-0, which right now can't be said for any other games. Not everyone actually records their matches like after game 1. Most people just kind of input them at the end. You have a couple of 1-0s placed in for some other people, so maybe it wasn't even a game loss. Maybe someone did just get cooked in like 3 minutes. But yeah, Tim Schmidt moving on 6-0 is 2-0, which means he's at least looking at the final round. If Duck Nugan is able to beat out Viranon from Firmasone, then we are looking at a final round. Because then we'll have 2 undefeateds. This was not the pair up, this was table 1. The pair up was on table 2 with a 401 Numemon player facing off against Armour Vaccine. So like at minimum, like our top 4 as far as top tables are concerned is 2 Armour Vaccines, 1 Imperial, 1 Nume. Killian is are they a Nume player? What are they on? They are a Nume player. So 2 Numes. Unfortunately, I think at 4 and 2, this disqualifies terriermon from top 8. Philip Decker we saw earlier, I believe, was... I want to say they were Imperial. Yeah, I do want to say they were Imperial. Nosy. No, they were Philip was the Mirage player that we saw earlier. So it's EU, so of course there's a Mirage somewhere in here. And then David Krieger is also on Imperial. So, yeah, the top 8 coming into this: 2 Imperial, 2 Nume, 2 Armour Vaccine, 1 Mirage, and 1 Terrier. Big ups Terrier. But we'll see how things shape out once we go into what should be our final round. About 30 of the matches have been completed, so just 11 stragglers that need to finish up.